Welcome to the This Mum Loves Tech podcast, the go-to show for female business owners who want to simplify tech and get the support they need to grow their online businesses with confidence. I'm Nicola Walsh, your podcast host. I'm also a mum to two cheeky boys and I love tech, so you don't have to. I'm here to share actionable tips, tools and strategies that will help you streamline your business and make the tech work for you. So whether you're watching after the kids have gone to bed or listening while on the school run, let's dive into today's episode and make tech that little bit easier. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of This Mum Loves Tech. I'm super excited to have another one of my membership ladies talking to me today. So today we're going to be talking to Lou May from the Bigger Picture Therapy. So hi Lou, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Nicola. Thank you for having me on.
So I thought we would just start by let's find out a bit about you. Like, who is Lou and what is the Bigger Picture Therapy?
Well, the bigger picture therapy is, well, first of all, sorry, I'm a trained psychotherapist and I used to work in the NHS doing talk therapy. I then realised I learned a little bit more about stress through personal experience. I've always suffered with anxiety. I literally used to collapse with panic attacks. So I've got quite a long history of, anxiety. But stress, when we look at stress, I was one of these people that used to push on through. I didn't really recognize my stress until about 7 years ago. And I'd had some warnings that I'd ignored now in hindsight, but I was hospitalized and I ended up with myocarditis, a heart virus. And it literally took me probably 6 months to a year to get back on my feet.
Wow.
Within that time, I started to look at, stress and the effects it has on the body, how it translates in our body. So in our minds, we can think we're not stressed. And we know people that say they thrive on stress, but you can't, internally, how your body reacts to that is very different. So, it causes inflammation in the body. So if we've got an inflamed body, we've got hormone imbalances, we've got digestion problems and immune system problems. So I've realized, like myself, who has an autoimmune condition, lots of my clients had autoimmune conditions and health problems. So I decided to change how I work, take on some extra training, and I started to look at the bigger picture, which is
I love that. Yeah, that would totally make sense. Yeah.
literally who I am and what I do. So I help now women, and we look at hormones, we look at autoimmune issues. We look at whatever the root, and we find the root cause, whether that is relationship or just not, and help people naturally. I'm very holistic, so naturally get that balance and manage their stress and find the root causes of their anxiety so they can, live a happy, healthier life.
Oh, well, sorry to hear about the kind of background that's come to it, but it's so good to hear that something positive has come out of that, like that you're now like helping other people. So kind of, do you want to talk, could you talk a bit more about how you help people? Like if someone did have stress and they wanted to come to you, like what would be the process of working with you?
Well, I use a very hybrid model now because obviously I combine coaching, counseling. You can have standalone. Someone might just need standalone counseling. They might have a particular issue that they want to look at. But even then, we don't just look at that without looking at, your lifestyle habits. And, I'm able to, if that person needs supplements, then I can recommend, test for even tailor-made supplements for that person. What sort of, everyone's got a routine. Everybody has a morning routine, which is even if that is, hitting the snooze button 10 times and then having a coffee before we get out of bed, you know, and they might not realize the impact that is having on them.
Yeah.
So it's changing things as well. But basically, it's finding that root cause. When you work with me, we look at all of it. Whereas when I worked in the NHS, I might be told to give someone CBT. So I'm just looking at that one model and we're concentrating on changing your thought pattern and we're not looking at anything else.
Mm,
You could be perimenopausal, menopausal. This is going to have a massive effect on your anxiety.
yeah.
And if we don't look at that, it's just being able So working with me, and it's different for everyone because you'll get a personalized plan, if you like, of right, okay, how we need to work. And some people might think, right, no, I don't want to make them lifestyle changes or I don't want to do that. That's okay. But it just means that you can then make informed decisions. You're aware of what could really be impacting you and how you can improve it.
Yeah, and then it's just your choice if you act on it or not. Yeah. It
Exactly.
gives you back that power though, I guess, because it's then up to you, isn't it, to do something about it and or not. And if you're still not feeling any different a few months later, then it's like, well, it's because I haven't done the thing
Yeah,
that I'm told to do.
that's it. Sometimes people have to get really, really uncomfortable or something major has to happen to them, unfortunately, like myself, before they can make those changes. But just like you said, that it's you're at least you're empowered to know. You might think, well, okay, now I really need to do this. But and I think it works much better working like this because if I'm trying to coach someone and they have significant trauma, that's not going to work. But using this model, we can like, right, okay, no, we need to go here. This is what we need to focus on before sometimes you can move on and take other steps.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it just makes your business name because obviously we've known each other for a little while now, but I didn't know the reason behind the name. And it just every time you say something, I'm like, oh yeah, it's the bigger picture. It's like just to
And I
make
love
those.
it. You hear it everywhere, don't you? When people, I'll be reading something and I think, yes, that's why. That's the bigger picture. That's what, and that is literally how it translates. I find it quite difficult to put in a nutshell exactly
Yeah.
what I do because, we combine these people and I've got different packages and programs and I make them work with the person rather than that person having to fit a certain
Yeah.
model.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really important. So obviously you said that kind of started 7 years ago. So did you like own your own business before, or was this the first time? Because you said you worked in the NHS. Like, had you done anything for yourself alongside that, or was this your first foray into kind of being your own business owner?
I had started on my own just before that, um, for the reason, yeah, working in the NHS, I think it was just too regimented for me because I've always thought like that. And I would get a CBT, 6 sessions with someone, and then that's that, whether that person, wherever they are on their journey, you let that person go, knowing that no, they need more. It's not fair. So I became, a little bit, and then this happened, yes. And then I really thought, no, hang on, I want to work holistically. Um, and that's when I took on other trainings to add to my training. I would use CBT, but not on its own.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used to work in schools as well. I worked for different agencies working in schools. And then I went solely after I recovered, And I can remember, I haven't always been holistic, Nicola. I can remember I really wanted some help. I couldn't even lift up the kettle. That's how
Oh, bless you.
weak I was. And I read somewhere, there was very little information on myocarditis then. There's a lot now. And I read somewhere that someone had said, the only way they managed to heal themselves was that they took 6 months out and they went on some meditation retreat or something. I mean, I'd never meditate. I just remember thinking, oh my, I can't do that. I've got a young child. What is this stuff? How ridiculous. And it just annoyed me. And, I was not. But gradually, that's when I just sort of took that path, took some other trainings. And yeah, even now, I don't meditate for more than 10 minutes doing a guided meditation. But I do incorporate these things in a way that suits me.
Yeah, and that's important, isn't it? Because we are all individual and we can't all be put into a box with a certain treatment plan. So yeah, it's great that you tailor everything you do to that individual. I mean, and that's the same with so many things, like with tech, for example, that everyone has everyone's business is unique. The way that everyone's kind of brain works and how they process things is unique. So you need kind of a set of tools that work for you and your business, which may be completely different to someone who's doing something very similar to you, because you've got to find what works for you and how your brain and business works.
100%. It really is like that. And I think also part of the bigger picture. I was LCM counselling. I'd always, I've been a counsellor for 15 years. Um, but in answer to your question, sorry, I then changed it to the bigger
Right.
picture for exactly what you're saying. And it's looking at how people work, how their brains work, what suits me. I also discovered, and I have a lot of neurospicy clients, that I am neurospicy. And one of those things is I used to beat myself up a lot for not being able to do things and trying to push on through, just like people do with stress. It's almost a bit of a badge of honor sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just sort of like, yeah, you just got to, you have to go, keep going, don't you? And I was doing that with tech. My brain, I can't. And there's so much better use of my time, I realised. And I realised that this is just one of the things that A, I need help with. B, I need someone else to do a lot of the time. And that's when I found you. And
Yeah, so that's
I'm loves tech.
lovely segued into kind of tech um and kind of how you came into the membership. But before we kind of touch on that, talking of tech and being a business owner, obviously what you do is very in person. Did you start with people face to face and then did you move online, or was you always online? Like, how has your tech within your business evolved?
It's evolved a lot because one, as we know, I'm just not, I'm not technically minded. And I don't want to be. So let's just put that in there. I used to work face to face all the time. All my work, luckily, I don't know how now, looking back, I've always had full clinic, but it's all been word of mouth, nearly all
Amazing.
word of mouth. Apart from I am now on the counselling directory and Psychology Today, but generally it was word of mouth. As we've discussed, I've never had a review because I just didn't understand the tech and links and even would think to have done that before we came here. So paper notes, everything was written out and everything was face to face. Then COVID hit, of course, and
Mm,
just before COVID, I had set up very luckily, I got a garden office. So I was able to work through COVID and I went on Zoom. I'd done a course. Zoom was probably the first thing, and I had to do just like a counselling and telephone and technology course. So I did that so I could work online. I have progressed since then. All my notes are on a CRM. I have Power Diary that I use. You helped me set up Google, so I have Google Docs and, I did have a website that's under construction. So I have moved forward with a lot of these things that, yeah, now I can't believe how I could have functioned without them. I do still keep a paper diary as well as my diary.
we can't push it too far towards the
No, I don't think
tech.
that's ever going to go, Nicola.
Obviously, COVID was such a catalyst for so many people to change and become more digital because
Yeah.
it was all we could do. So it's brilliant that you did embrace that tech and got yourself in a position where you could keep going, because obviously from being such a face-to-face business to then not being able to do any kind of face-to-face could have quite easily been the end of your business, really, because it was such a long time as well. So the fact that you were able to kind of embrace the tech as much as you do, as far as you will allow it, has meant that your business has been able to continue.
Yeah, it has. Because literally, like you said there, without it, and it was at a time, that was my busy, as you can imagine, that was my busiest time.
Mm,
You know, so many people needed support through that
yeah.
period. And without the tech, yeah, my business would have gone under and I wouldn't have been able to give any of my clients any support. It would have been, yeah. So actually, now, yeah, putting it like that. So tech was so important to me at that time. I had no choice, Nicola, but to embrace it, did I?
You had to embrace it. You had to get on board with it. So as you said, you're now getting support with your tech, and obviously we've worked together quite a bit now and done few different things. So can you just explain a bit more about why, like, getting support with the thing that you're struggling with has been so important to you? Obviously, that's could then kind of be connected to maybe some things your clients are struggling with, and why getting support with what you're struggling with is such an important thing.
Okay, because I would literally, and this has happened, being on like trying to sort out tech, I've ended up in tears. You know, it's the frustration, the stress, the effect that it has on me, and the time it's taken to get, it's so frustrating to get absolutely nowhere and, to work so hard trying to do something. So it was really important that I don't put myself in that position and put that stress on my body either. In the way I work, that is literally causing me inflammation in my body. This is not a good thing for me. Also, then it just builds more stress because it's taking me so much time to do something.
Yeah,
So,
time that could be better spent doing something
yeah.
else.
So then you've got the stress of all the things that, you haven't been able to do because you're working on. So it's a knock-on effect. So just to be able to ask somebody for help and obviously what I found, I have tried before, for support and I have had some support, but I did find that, I could understand what you were follow what you were saying. Um, I think you're really quite clear and it really helps me because you break things down into smaller steps. That's how my brain works. So it's important to find the right just like in therapy, it's important to find the right person for you.
Yeah, that's yeah, to help you and support you, because then you can move on.
Yeah.
So you spoke a bit already about setting up your Google Workspace and all that kind of thing. So what would you say is one of your favorite tech tools? I know tech is still not, you're still not 100% on board with the tech, but if you had to pick one tool that you now think, oh, this is kind of essential to your business, what would you say that was?
I think that is my power diary because it makes my whole onboarding process so much easier because it sends out all my automatic reminders. I've literally got everything in one place. So that's really good for my neurospicy brain. I'm not looking in lots of different places. It does a whole lot more that I don't know how to use yet, but that I think that and ChatGPT are probably my favourites at the moment.
Yeah, I gotta love a bit of chat GTP. I don't know what I would do about that. So obviously you are part of the This Mum Loves Tech membership, and you are also on my Launch Your Lead Magnet course. So what has kind of been the biggest tech revelations that you've discovered since being part of the This Mum Loves Tech community?
Okay, so I've really enjoyed the workshops that you put up, I can follow really well. And I've done quite a bit on Canva, which I was useless on. I'm still pretty useless, but I'm better. I can manage a few things on there. So that really helps. I love the fact that the building the lead magnet, I had a lead magnet that was built by somebody else and I just didn't understand it. So going through it and putting my own one together in a way that I can understand. And I know going forward in my business, I will just be able to keep using that model.
Mm.
I know it's going to save me so much, so much time, and it's not going to cause me all that stress. So for me, that's going to be invaluable. And it's just, I like the fact, obviously, I'm not great in memberships. I've been in a few and then I come out because I don't find that I interact very much. And I know that's on me, but there's often reasons for that. In this membership, I find that, I know if I ask a question, it's going to get answered. I just like the amount of support that we get in there.
Oh, well, that's so lovely. And yeah, I think it's really important. And one of the things that kind of why I set up this Month of Tech is to empower you and other business owners to be able to do it themselves, because it is great if someone sets something up for you, but then if you do have to make a change, or you do want to do it again but with something different, you have no idea how to do it. So you've either got to go back to the original person, they might not then have the availability, and you're like, but I'm ready to do this right now. So being able to have the skills to do it yourself just gives you back the power in your own business. You're not at the mercy of somebody else to then do something for you.
It really does. And it goes back to what we were saying earlier, in the same way that I empower people so they can make informed decisions, it's exactly the same. You're doing exactly the same thing for me because I can then decide, it's like I know how to do it, which I think is really important for all the reasons that you've outlined. But I can decide as whether I want to get someone else to do that or not going forward. But the main part is that actually I can do it and I know what's going on in my business if I needed to.
Yeah, so even if you got someone else to like create it and set it up for you, if you then needed to do a little tweak, you would know how to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that,
Oh,
and that feels really good.
that's so lovely to hear, and I'm glad that you have had that experience. So what would you say to anyone that's maybe thinking, oh, I kind of need to get some tech support? Like what would be your kind of thoughts on that?
Contact you, join the membership. I'll have a power hour. That's how I started, I think. Um, we had a couple of power hours, didn't we, as well, which I think is great because and that got me really started. That's how I got to know you more as well. I think that really helped because then I could, you know, it is so important to be able to that somebody explains and their mind, you're very good. Can't get my words out here. But somebody can explain in the way you understand because we all understand and learn differently.
Yeah.
And for me, you were that person. And having that power hour, I think I was really stuck on something, wasn't I? And literally, that wasn't me just not being good at tech. We uncovered that there was something really wrong.
That with your original domain name, they weren't like, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I remember we had to set up a completely different account for you in the end because we couldn't get the other one to work,
And that's it. Without that, I would still be going around in circles.
and you still would have been thinking it was you because sometimes it is the tech.
Yes. And that time it actually was the tech. Well, it is the tech quite a lot with me, but yeah. So just to have that pointed out, that was great. And then from there, I'd been in the membership has just been, it's been really helpful. I can go in, I can go onto one of the workshops and sort of learn at my own pace when I want to. And then knowing if actually there is stuff in there that I'm stuck with, I can just go on the membership and ask a question or contact you, and I'm going to get that answered. And it's not pressurized at all. It's all in my own time. And yeah, for once, I wouldn't say I completely know what I'm doing with tech, but I definitely know a lot more and I feel a lot more confident with the tech that I
And
do.
it's giving you less stress.
Yes, yes, and less stressed, which is so important.
Important. So, well, thank you. It's so lovely to hear that you are enjoying being part of the membership. So I'd just like thank you so much for coming and having a chat to us today. Where can people find out more about you and the bigger picture? And is there anything that you have that people could maybe sign up for, anything to kind of get to know Lou and the bigger picture a bit better?
Hopefully, my website will be finished very soon and that will be up and running. But at the moment, I'm on Instagram at the bigger picture, and there is a freebie on there. It's the ultimate routine for hormone balance and stress release.
Uh,
Just a little guide to help people get started on their morning routines.
yeah, because you said about a morning routine search, and in everyone has one.
Yeah, everybody has one, whether they know it or not. That's like we said, whether that's hitting the snooze button 10 times and having a coffee, you know. And it's just about, that's the most important part of your day. The first part of your day is the most important part of your day. You don't want to start the day on the back foot, then you're already stressed.
Yeah, oh, that's brilliant. So if anyone's interested in finding more out about Lou and getting that free guide, all the links you need will be in the show notes. Well, I just want to say a huge thank you, Lou. I know this is one of your first podcast interviews you're doing, and I thought you did brilliantly. You came across so well, and it has been so great to find out more about you because obviously we've been working together for a little while now, but I didn't know that whole background story of how the bigger picture come together. So it's been lovely to get the opportunity to find out more about you and what it is that you do. I hope you've enjoyed talking to us today, and please come and join me for another edition of This Mum Loves Tech, and I hope you have a lovely day. If today's episode has inspired you to finally stop putting off your email marketing and actually get it set up properly, then I would love to invite you to join me inside Ignite Your Email List. This is my step-by-step course designed especially for online business owners who want to set up their email marketing the right way without the stress, the guesswork, or hours spent Googling how to do it. If you'd love to learn with me and get personalized support every step of the way, then the VIP live experience is perfect for you. You'll get 7 weeks of live group calls with the rest of the ladies on the course. There's a private WhatsApp community exclusive for the VIP experienced ladies, where you can ask your questions between the sessions as well. You get a bonus of a one-to-one tech support call with me, which you can take anytime up to 3 months after the course is finished to make sure everything's set up, you understand how it all works. You also get a bonus of 3 months inside my This Mum Loves Tech membership, so you can get ongoing support after the course ends. And then my VIP guarantee. So if you join this round of Ignite Your Email List live VIP experience, if your lead magnet is not live by Christmas, I will keep working with you in the new year till it is. I don't want this to be one of those courses that you sign up for and never get that end result. We will get your lead magnet done and out into the world. The VIP experience is your chance to finally get it done, to move from thinking about it to doing it and get your list, your automations, your lead magnet live by the end of the year. It's everything you need with all the accountability and support to make it happen. But the VIP bonuses, all those bonuses that I mentioned, are only available until midnight on Halloween. So that's tonight. So if you've been waiting for the right time, this is it. There is the self-study version where you can work through things at your own pace as well. So you get lifetime access to all those step-by-step video lessons, the templates and the resources are in the course. The VIP experience is just a way of working with me to do it as well. But if you do join the self-study before midnight tonight on the 31st of October, you'll also get a free month inside the This Mum Loves Tech membership for extra support. So whether you're ready to go all in with the VIP experience or rather do it in your own time with the self-study course, you'll find everything you need to finally feel confident with getting your email marketing set up. You can find all the details and join today at thismumlovestech.co.uk/ignite. And I'll also make sure that the link is in the description below. I can't wait to help you build your email list, grow your audience off of social media on a platform that you own, and finally feel in control of your tech. You don't have to love tech, you just need the right support, and that's exactly what you get in Ignite Your Email List. Thank you for listening to today's episode, and I will see you on the next episode of This Mum Loves Tech.